How does it feel to be invited from the office of the President of the United States? I was a part of a youth symposium hosted by the White House earlier this month. I interacted with the officers directly from the First Lady's office and the President's office. This event really transformed my thinking process and given me a dimension for my future. All this happened recently when I visited North America for my Phase 4 climb of Mission 7 summit to climb Mount Denali, also known as Mount McKinley. My mission is to climb the highest peaks of all the 7 continents. I want to do this to create a new global record for India. I call it the Mission 7 Summit. My story of climbing began at a very early age of 10 months. Yes, I was very small, and I didn't even start walking. It was in the wilderness on the back of my father, who took me in a specially designed backpack to give me the exposure and the experience of wilderness and the nature. This continued till I was 8, and then I started to understand what I was doing, and I was fascinated with the world of wilderness and had more understanding on the real nature of our Mother Earth. My professional training started at 8 under the supervision of my guide, coach, and mentor, my father. He asked me whether I wanted to continue or I was interested in any other activity. And later, after a year of training, I attempted my first high-altitude trek of 16,000 feet in Uttarakhand, known as Roopkund Trek. I was just 9 years. Initially, the trek was very difficult, but to be honest, I never knew about the dangers and the difficulties of the trek, but only knew that I had to finish the trek with the other senior members of my group. I used to take frequent breaks and have a sip of water on my way up. As we went higher, I experienced the first snow. I still remember I was so thrilled seeing the snow. I was jumping around and playing, and I was throwing the snow on my father and the other team members. And it is after this climb, I started practicing in a serious and a professional manner. By 10 years, I nearly completed 2 high-altitude treks, maybe like 25 local treks, and also done few adventure activities like paragliding and hot air ballooning, and many more. And then I understood that I was more interested in doing something different and unique, which other people of my age don't even think of doing it. And then I started exploring more about the mountaineers and mountaineering. With the help of my father, I came to understand more about the wilderness and the high altitude. This is when my dream was born, the Mission 7 Summit. No mountain too high. So the real test started now. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because dreaming was easier, but it came to execution, I had to face a lot of problems. The first lesson I was taught was discipline, which is the primary factor in the adventure life. I believe in life, you don't need to compete with anyone. The only person you compete is with yourself. Every person has a mountain within themselves, and they will conquer it at some time of their life. I am standing here proving a girl can achieve anything in their life, given her she be provided the correct encouragement and the right support for it. And girls should just be given that opportunity to show what they are. I wish to educate them and give them the exposure and wilderness and let them know what they are potential of. Be fit from head to toe, so I had to undertake vigorous training. So my typical day starts at 5 o'clock. So I undergo my fitness coaching under the guidance of a Dronachari awardee, Nagapuri Ramesh sir. He has always been a very big motivation for my climbs. I had to travel 100 kilometers to reach the stadium for my practice and hurry back in the terrible traffic to reach my school and focus on my studies despite being exhausted. I had to overcome this exhaustion, having that determination and that dedication in myself. I have taken a lot of pain, but my vision and my mission kept me moving, achieving my goal. There is still a gender stereotype in our country. Being a girl, I was always questioned as why I was taking such a risk. And there were also people who told my father, mental doctor does mental things. But those people now have realized what it means to us. And everyone used to tell me, why don't you study well and get a good job? But after my achievements, that is when people realized that I was doing what I loved and changed their mindset. So mountaineering is not yet a sport in India. So due to that reason, we face many problems regarding the equipment and the training required. So I had to travel all the way to the Himalayan ranges for my practice. And there are many people who talk many things regarding this sport. But when it comes to execution, practically there are none or have less knowledge. There is a reason why this sport is not taken up by a common man, as it is very expensive. I hail from a middle-class family, and it was very difficult for us to bear the expenditure for my expeditions. But to achieve my dream, my father had made many sacrifices. He has also left his job to be with me. My father is my hero. My father is my hero. He has climbed many peaks by himself, few peaks with me and few by himself. Though being a cancer survivor, he has climbed and he's been a very big motivation for me for my climbs, physically and mentally. Today, I dedicate this talk to my father, S. Krishna Rao. It does not matter which color, which community or caste I was born in. I have scaled and will continue to scale newer heights. My first peak of Mission 7 summit was to Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. It is said to be the single standing mountain in the world with having 4 different terrains to reach the summit. It is still a mystery how the glaciers were formed on the peak and has nearly 6 routes to reach the summit. The second peak was Mount Elbrus, highest peak of Europe. I summited on the 31st July 2015 at the age of 13, becoming the world's youngest girl to accomplish. In the same year, in December, I went to Australia to climb Mount Kosciuszko along with the Aussie Challenge. Coming to the 4th peak, it is considered to be one among the 10 deadliest peaks of the world, Mount Denali, also known as Mount McKinley. It is also said that it is even tougher than Mount Everest, regardless of its climatic conditions and its terrains. All the 4 peaks were different and its difficulty levels also. But the climb to Mount Denali has given me and taught me many new things as a mountaineer for my future climbs. One thing is certainly said in mountaineering. Climbing up is optional, but getting down is mandatory. From all these years, I have learned from the world of void is that you need to first understand what your weaknesses are and then your strengths. That is what makes you perfect. To just say a small statement, in any profession, we make mistakes. We all do. But you have at least one chance to rectify that mistake. But in mountaineering, I say, we don't have the option of Control Z, the undo. So that is what makes us and makes our decision making more powerful and accurate and gives you an understanding of the concept focus. As the world is becoming modernized day by day, we are also improving our technology in mountaineering. Previously, when a mountaineer would go on an expedition, there was just little communication possible. But now, you can also track a climber's exact and his current location and position, as I also do it in all my climbs, with the help of satellite communication and the GPS equipment provided by Spot New Zealand. And it is also very essential for emergency in case of rescue. As the days are passing by, it is always very good for a climber to take a full body picture of himself along with a GPS location or maybe a small video coverage to authenticate his summit. I believe life is the most difficult exam, and many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing everybody has a different question paper to solve. You don't have to be a celebrity to be successful or a superstar to be significant. Just write it down, break it down, make it visual, talk it up. Find a mentor. Turn roadblocks into building blocks. Don't let the clouds created by others limit your vision. I have climbed my mountains, and I believe everybody can achieve it. My tagline, adventure without risk, is Disneyland. It is just about identifying what your mountain is. So, what's your mountain? Jai Hind.